Hi everyone, so welcome back to my favourite, or my personal favourite video to record during the week. And we're going to take a look at another set from way back that doesn't fit into the usual either core set or specifically I suppose expansion set cycle through the history of Standard. And we're going to look at the third now of these portal sets. So this is the Three Kingdoms set, and I'm going to chat about this as I scroll through these cards, and then we'll go on and do the usual slicing and dicing for the, as we sort of move across the colours to try and get a feel for the theme of the set and various other things. I've added in some extra tabs at the end, as I think I discussed with a question from a long-term friend of the channel, and something that I'd mentioned at the time that I would be doing, which is, as I do these, I'm going to add in certain additional tabs where I think it's relevant. And from this set, it definitely is worthwhile us having a discussion about legendaries and a few other things, and also EDH rec ranking. So I'm going to just scroll down these. What do we know about this? So this came out in May 1999, and you'll see there's a number of cards here that do similar things functionally to other cards you might be more familiar with. Pretty unique artwork. There's 180 cards, 55 commons, 55 uncommons, 55 rares, and then 15 basic lands. And as I said, it's part of the Portal trilogy, although there's something interesting about these, or this particular set, in that although there was an English printing of this, it was printed in Japanese, Chinese, and simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese. The English printings were mostly sold in Australia and New Zealand. At least that's my understanding and what I can determine from the MTG Wiki article. And that makes the English versions of the cards amongst the rarest in the game, because these weren't printed, as is usual with Magic sets, in North America. So there's a sort of three kingdoms theme here, if you're familiar with the sort of background, I suppose, where the story theme pulls from in terms of the Three Kingdoms period of Chinese history. So the Three Kingdoms are sort of associated with white, blue and black, while bandits and barbarians and outsiders are represented in red and green. That's how they've basically done it and blended it into the colours of Magic here. There was a keyword in here which was unusual for the when you compare it to the other two sets that came out, in that they didn't really have set specific keywords, and they actually had horsemanship in here, which was functionally identical to flying, but was distributed differently across the colour plot, across the colour pie. As I said, legendary creatures, which was unusual for the Portal sets. Marketing wise, they were in, I think, 10 card booster packs, so 1 rare, 2 uncommons, 5 common and 2 basic lands. There were 3 different 40 card theme decks which we'll look at the end of this video, and a 2-player starter set. So there's a pre-release card as well in this, and another interesting, I suppose you could call it, cycle, which you may have sort of spotted just because there's so many cards which have a certain term, if you like, at the front of the card, and just because of the way where that is in the alphabet, you've probably spotted them. So there's our nice land artwork there again. Are we seeing what we're seeing like 3 different types of land, and no doubt we'll see some quite notable cards in here, which now I suspect are fairly pricey. So let's dive in, and we'll start off as I do always in this sort of, in this series, but also generally the new format of set musings that I'm doing, where I'm slicing them by colour, and then within colour they're sliced by rarity, and then within that they are ordered by ascending mana value. So you get that feel, I think, the same as if you've opened new packs to some degree, where you see a lot more commons than other cards and so on, and the more packs you open, the more you start to see of the higher rarities. So we've got Volunteer Militia. So there's and again here, notice the business with the power toughness symbols here. I think also in this set they kept the terminology the same as like regular magic. I know for the first set of Portal they did something strange with how they referred to certain zones and things like that, but we'll see if that's the case. But I think that's my understanding is that they did go with more conventional stuff. So we've got some 1-2 drop creatures. There's a sorcery, Red Riding Hair. We've got Shoe Cavalry. There's our horsemanship. So definitely we are sort of seeing here, I suppose, an equivalent of stuff that would go in a usual set to a white weenie deck. We're seeing soldiers. Horsemanship here is taking the place of flying. So are we going to see blue-white horsemanship deck? Well, we'll see. You can see there we've got, interestingly, destruction with the creature's owner gaining 4 life, and this is something, and let's have a quick look. We see, so we've got, what's that, Path of Peace there, but there are other cards where you blow up an opponent's shiny thing and but they get life for that, or something else, or maybe get a land, or but that's something you often see in white. So so we're seeing creatures, we are seeing some spells. There's a pump spell there, all creatures. So that's like anthem type effect. I never know with these sets whether they do actually use the same terminology. I can't remember if it's a case where anthems are on all the time. I think they sort of stay on, don't they? Tend to be like more either creatures that do it or enchantment. But it's this power boost to all thing that here it's specific to you or your creatures. Take any one creature card from your graveyard, put in. So there's our recursion. So we've got a bit of graveyard shenanigans. Okay, conditional asymmetric pump there. Okay, so let's see what we have in next rarity up, uncommon. Your opponent can't attack on his or her next turn. Okay, so we've got not quite a fog effect. So I'm sort of grasping for, phase manipulation. Okay, there we go. So phase manipulation, because fog effects affect damage as well, don't they? Peach Garden Oath. Okay, life gain. Untap all your creatures. So definitely stuff here that's going to help out in a white weenie deck. There's some more pump going on there. And again, notice with these, and some of the other ones will stick out, but we've got like regular sorcery ware here, but these I think would be the ones that have been retroactively made instants but then have a condition on them, so they're not sorceries, at least been errated but they're an instant with conditions, I think is a way that I would think of it. So yeah, instant with conditions. Alert you infantry, loyal retainers, flanking troops. Okay. Yeah, some more horsemanship as well. There's our sort of white, destruction spell for tapped creatures. Another life gain thing going on. Okay, now we're moving on to our higher rarity, so the rares here. No mythics obviously at this point in Magic's history. Play Eightfold Maze only after you're attacked, before you declare blockers. Is that another one? Yeah. So there seems to be a few more of these in this set now than we have before. Pang Tong Young Phoenix. So yeah, here's another Legends. No, actually, this would be the first time we've seen Legends, wasn't it? Because we did scroll through and probably saw them that way. But in terms of the slicing and dicing, in this set, all the Legends would have been at the higher rarity. Yeah. Okay, on your turn. Oh, the other thing, and maybe I did mention this already, the other two sets were black bordered. This is white bordered. Okay. Yeah, so definitely mono white soldiers. It's going to be interesting when we get to the I wanted to call them event decks, the theme decks, to see what colours they were in. We do have a destroy all lands here for 3 and a white. Look at some of the prices on these cards, and this would be, your Armageddon, which we had seen before. So yeah, similar to Armageddon. Yeah, functional reprint, just reminding you that destroying all of your lands also includes, destroying lands does include your lands as well. So there's no confusion over that. Oh, there's a legend with horsemanship. That's pretty cool artwork there, actually. So, yeah. So if you like your, your mono white soldiers deck here, I think you're well catered for in this particular set. Moving on to blue, I'm just wondering whether we've got what crossover we might have in white. I did mention that because of this was how this was described in MTG Wiki, we were going to see horsemanship like across the set as a whole, and outside of the colours where you would normally see flying if they were going to put all flying in the set. Okay, so that's targeting horsemanship. Okay, so yeah, more of these source instants, however you want to think of them. So sorceries that were re-errated to instants. That's a counter target creature spell, interestingly enough. Okay, so we've got our counter spell stuff. We've got some small blue creatures here, interestingly enough. So, blue, white. Again, lots of soldiers. There's our ship in blue. Woo warship can't attack unless the defending player has an island in play. Has that been no, so they don't specifically mention. So yeah, because island wall would be the damage gets through, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, so that's interesting there. So that actually just prevents it from attacking, and it's conditional to the player having an island. Horsemanship 2/3. So what else have we got? What have we got? Uncommon. So more sorceries. Okay, some library manipulation. Yeah, another one of these. So it seems a lot more in this set than the other sets. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, certainly that's the case there. Return anyone attacking creature to its owner's hand. So we have bounce. This one is one that cropped up in Commander. So, if you didn't know this set, you might recognise this from the Commander 2013 product. Also in Masters 25 as well. So yeah, apparently that is it the famous in the, where is my notes off of here, something about so this is a functional reprint, I believe, of Theft of Dreams from Paul's Second Age, but wasn't this the card where it's like unusual to have a number that high in the name? There was something about it I'd read somewhere, but I just don't remember now the context of this. But yeah, I don't think you get very often with this larger a number mentioned in the name of the card. Council of Advisors, Mystic Denial, Woo Longbowman, Counterintelligence, return any one or two creatures to their own hand. So we've got some bounce here at uncommon. Okay, it's interesting, isn't it? We've got some conditions on islands and playing blue. Oh, there's our draw 3 card spell. That one's 4 and a blue. I suspect if we were to look at similar card, let's see if it does. Yeah. So there's a lot of cards it's similar to. Obviously, it is worse than Ancestral Recall. Oh, that was it. I was trying to think of the card. Yeah, Jace's Ingenuity. So that's 3 and 2 blue, draw 3 cards. And this is 4 and a blue, draw 3 cards. Okay. Yeah, some ships in here. It's cool. Of course, I'm assuming nowadays they would be vehicles, wouldn't they? Okay, there's our rares. Exhaustion. Opponent's next turn, he or she skips untapping creatures or lands. Okay. Is that reworded anyway? Creatures and lands, target opponent draws down. Okay. Yeah. So gives it more sort of modern wording. Lady Sun, another legend. There's quite a number of legends in here, isn't there? In fact, it looks like they're taking up the majority, or close to the majority, of the rare slots are legends. So that would then make them fairly noticeable. You know, if you... So there's... How many did I say? I mean, it must be just there was one rare in the pack in this, because what is 10 packs? So 1 rare, 2 uncommons, 5 commons, and 2 basic lands. So so legends would definitely bubble up fairly quickly if you're sort of opening packs of these. But we'll see if that's... I mean, that would be definitely be the case if this is going to happen in all the colours. So we'll see whether that's true. Okay, 11 cards where the set is... Yep. Okay, so we're now into black commons. Return to battle. There's Swamp Walk, so they do specifically mention things like Swamp Walk in here. There's another interesting pump on the attack. And it chooses one of... So yeah, we've got an edict in here for one of the black. More soldiers. I mean, is it the case that White Weenie is viable in all of the colours of Magic in this set? Looks a little that way. Actually, let's just check something. There's our horsemanship. Yep. Something you see in black, don't you? So we've got a bear there that can't block. Oh, ghostly visit. Destroy 1 creature that isn't black. So yeah, again, I suspect if we go into this, what do we expect to see here? Doomblade, Murder, Hand of Death. The usual suspects. Okay. Corrupt court official. Yeah, several. I suppose you've noticed now we've got several advisors cropping up here. One for 2, one for 3 in the black. It's got an ETB. That's got a before you attack on your turn trigger. So interesting how they've errated that. Okay, target opponent discards a card, activate only during your turn before attackers are declared. See, notice here there's no tap symbol or anything like that. And it's sort of worded round the other way, isn't it? Okay. Swamp walk, horsemanship. Yeah, a lot of sort of, what would you call it? Like combat conditions, maybe. And ETB stuff. Yeah, pretty, let's get the feeling with this. It's pretty advanced stuff for like a beginner's set, starter level set, I think as they called it. Oh, there's Imperial Seal. We'll look at this later. We'll look at prices. Search the lobby for any one card. Shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. You lose 2 life for a single black. So we're now at, rare. Draw 3 cards in black, lose 3 life. 3 in a black. So we've obviously got legends again. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is that? Yeah, this one there. 7 out of 11. Yeah, so you'd notice pretty soon from opening packs that this had a large amount of legends in it. Overwhelming forces. Destroy all your opponent's creatures. You draw a card for each creature destroyed. Wow, okay, 6 and 2 black. So are they tagging that as being similar to anything? Not in particular, just the usual thing. I wonder if there was a particular card. Oh, no. Power equal to the number of swamp cards you've played. You may destroy stone catapult. You may tap stone catapult to destroy anyone. It's in black. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Always interesting those catapult cards. Something you see in red, don't you? And moving on to red. It's 1 for 1. With haste. Okay. More soldiers. So mono red soldiers. 1 for 2 with horsemanship. Can't block. Oh, stone rains in here. And desert sandstorm. Burning fields as well. So yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. We got a lot of stuff at common here. Fire ambush deals 3 damage to any one creature or player. So our 2-drop 3 damage spell. So that's pretty solid for commons at red. What do we got? Oh, we got Blaze here. So this is our X spell at uncommon in red. Okay, Fire Bowman, control of the court. Card draw 4 cards and put them in hand. Then discard 3 cards. That's unusual for red, isn't it? Yeah, looting. So we've got looting in red as opposed to rummaging. Yeah, there's Imperial Recruiter. So it comes in play, search your library for a creature card with power no greater than 2. Notice again there, using these symbols. That card shopping library afterwards. Yeah, it's great in a red weenie deck. Well, no red weenie. Well, any deck because it doesn't stipulate, but yeah, any deck where you're playing red with small creatures. Yeah, so you can probably see what cards here might be, the same as functional reprints to corresponding red goblins. But of course several of these have the benefit of horsemanship as well. We've got a few here that are unaffected by summoning sickness, so they have haste. Stuff again blowing up lands. Yeah, this looks like a pretty interesting set, doesn't it? This is the first time I've been through this set properly. I mean, I'm aware of certain legends and cards that maybe have cropped up in Commander products, but yeah, this is pretty eye-opening. So we've already got another X red spell, higher rarity, so Rolling Earthquake, where X damage to each player and each creature without horsemanship. So again, you're probably familiar with spells that do similar things, but would be creatures with flying, that sort of thing. Relentless Assault. Untap all creatures that attack this turn. You may declare an additional attack this turn. So here's our legends again. Let's have a quick count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 this time out of 11. So not quite up to half, but getting close. There's a Yellow Scarves General. Each of your creatures can't be blocked by more than one creature each turn as long as Yen Shao is in play. You destroy 4 of your lands and your opponent destroys 4 of his or her lands. Then Burning of Xinyai deals 4 damage to each creature. This includes your creatures, by the way. And you're probably noticing the one where we're going to be talking a little bit about a sort of cycle. So moving on to green again, yeah. Wowza. A 1/2 for 1. So yeah, green weenie. 3 visits. There's our land tutoring, forest specifically. Wielding, not welding, they're wielding the green dragon. Any one creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. So what would that be? So it's more costly than giant growth, and it's similar to monstrous growth. That's it. But worse than Titanic, which is instant speed. We've also got things like fighter burst and larger than life. It is it's under the giant growth banner. Basically, it's just slightly more for slightly more than giant growth. Oh, we have a vanilla elephant with a rather snazzy outfit. 3 and a green for a 3/4. It's a southern elephant. Obviously, I don't know if they dress snazzier than northern elephants. Stalking tiger. Yep. Can't be blocked by more than one creature each turn. 3 and a green for 3/3. Minghu's Horde. Another vanilla. And okay, yeah, we've got the 8 life spell in here. Spring of Eternal Peace. So moving on to the other rarities. And there's a fog effect here. Play heavy fog only after you're attacked and before you declare attackers. This turn, all damage dealt to you by attacking creatures is reduced by 0. So yeah, if we go through, you can see another one that's been changed. Lone Wolf, 2/2 for 3. Yeah, again, quite complicated rules here. But yeah, a lot of stuff triggering off of damage, or at least it appears that way. There's our green tutor card that can handle plains, islands, swamps, mountains or forests. Taoist Hermit, trained cheater, tripwire, destroy any one creature with horsemanship. So we've got cards in here that you can see sort of hate on horsemanship in various ways. There's our zodiac stuff. Right, moving on to rare green stuff. Borrowing the East Wind. Establish each creature with horsemanship. Marshalling the troops. So legends this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 4 in green. Okay. More tigers. A mystic, which can't be blocked by creatures with horsemanship. All the green creatures get +1/+1 as long as Ming is in play. So it does look like, you know, there's a bit more of a, what would you say, across the different colours, a bit more of a sort of distribution, cross-pollination of certain effects, but they're tied up in some way conditionally. I thought that was reprinted in Commander. Any one creature gets +2/+2 and gains horsemanship. Okay, there are lovely lands. Blue ones look pretty old school, don't they? So what, we're hovering somewhere between $2 to $5 for the lands, depending on the artwork. So far, anyway. Oh my word! let me rephrase that. So these mountains, yeah, they're getting up pretty expensive, and the forests. So yeah, for this set, it's the mountains that are expensive. But these look lovely, don't they? I mean, yeah. I wonder if they surfaced anywhere else. This is all Magic Online stuff, wow. So no, not outside of Magic Online. Interesting. Okay, so prices. Hang on to your hats. So banned in Legacy, restricted in Vintage, Imperial Seal. Yeah, if you've got £1,000. Did crop up in Double Masters, interestingly enough. And was a Judge gift card. Then we've got Zodiac Dragon. If you've got $350 to spare. 8/8 for 9. Capture of Jing Zhao. I think if I do my usual, where do we get below the $10 mark? We could be here quite a while, maybe. So I was just going to, what I forgot to do there is I think, yeah, so if we go down, this is the first legend. That's the most expensive legend in the set. Ravages of War, which is our it's Armageddon, isn't it? I think. No, it was printed in Fallout. Although I think I prefer this artwork myself. Oh, interestingly, look on. It actually looks pretty cool on in New Borders. There's Oath. Another Legend. So we've got a lot of stuff here hovering around the $150 mark, really. There's Imperial Recruiter. That, yeah, I thought that was reprinted. Lady Sun. So yeah, not surprised to see quite a lot of the Legends bubbling up. Overwhelming Forces. Another Legends. So at what point, I suppose, do we get below $100? Sun Quan, Lord of Wu. Tower Honored Physician. There's Wolfpack. You may have Wolfpack assign its combat damage as though it won blocks. We saw that before, didn't we? I think in an earlier card in this particular block. It was a treasure chest on Magic the Gathering Online. Yeah, so these seem to be cropping up a lot in special sets, which obviously, yeah, either they've never been reprinted at all, which is, you know, obviously contributing really heavily to the price, but in other instances where they have been reprinted, yeah, not something either in paper or is an actual, you know, set, special one. I think I might have this. Actually, if I'm going to look at the price difference. Slashing Tiger, lots of Tiger and so on. Yeah, I better not carry on because it could take us quite a while to get down to $10, but yeah, you get the idea. What I'm doing with these as well, I don't think I've ever done this before, and I don't know if anybody's noticed. With these, I'm actually including all of the slicing stuff in the main parts, and that would include this up to this point, I think, in the description. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, horsemanship was a thing. So there's 36 cards with horsemanship on them. So if you're curious, we've got 8 in white, we've got 8 in blue, slightly less in black, 7, 7 in red, in green, 1, 2, 6 in green, and they either have horsemanship on them or care about horsemanship in some way. That's probably more accurate. But in terms of the creatures with horsemanship, and maybe I'll do a bit of a better way of breaking this down. Yeah, so 30 cards, so 30 creature cards. So when we do it this way, so 7 white cards, 7 blue, 7 black, and 6 red, and 3 in green. But again, yeah, it's some are saying, oh, you can't do this if you have horsemanship. So, yeah. So yeah, distributed more than you would see with, I suppose, flyers, maybe. Just trying to think if that's the case, or different distribution than flyers, but yeah, still some differences between the colours of Magic. If I haven't said it already, but I've pointed out loads of cards where they were sorceries that became instances. The sets itself had no instance, artifact or enchantments. And the sorceries, you saw there that there were sorceries that could be played during your combat phase. And got turned into sort of instance with conditions. Okay, this as well. So we've got this strange set specific cycle. This isn't the right order. There is a specific order for these. So these are cycles based on the signs of the Chinese zodiac. So I believe the order should be snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, pig, rat, ox, tiger, rabbit and dragon. Here I've just got them by colour, so we can see how that sort of breaks down in the different colours here. So you can see 3 in black, 3 in red, and then looks like the rest are all in green. Yeah, so a bit different. Now legendaries, there were 31 of those in the set. And just to confirm, if we look at the rarity, yeah, it is all at rare. They didn't do any, shenanigans at that time in terms of printing stuff in, other legendaries at lower rarities, which up to that point would have only happened in the Legends set, I suppose. But then the rarities were slightly different there as well. Yeah, so there you are. So again, just looking at this, the breakdown, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 in blue. 7 black, and then 5 in red, and then 4 in green. But you have 31 out of a total. Yeah, the best way to think about this is, what's the total number of rares? If there's always going to be a rare slot in the pack, and there's 55 rares. So 31 out of that 55. So what's that? Roughly just under 60%. So 60% of the rares are legends. So, just probability-wise, I suppose one way of thinking of it is if you opened 10 packs of this set, it's possible 6 out of the 10 roughly are going to be legends. I was just trying to think, at what point do you get a probability of actually hitting a legend based on the number of packs you open. So I suppose with 60%, of them being rares, then there's a higher than even chance, I suppose, of you getting a rare on the first pack. And certainly by the fourth pack, it was pretty unusual to have not pulled a rare by that point. Yeah. Just very roughly. And then the other thing is, if you put these in order of EDH direct ranking, what bubbles to the surface? So 3 visits comes out top. Then we've got Imperial Recruiter, Imperial Seal, Relentless Assault, Ambition's Cost. I mean, that's a sort of perfect storm, I suppose, at the moment, would be cards that, if the card only ever got printed in this set and was, is popular in Commander. that's what I was looking to say. Yeah. Popular in Commander and, hasn't been either not been reprinted at all or hardly been reprinted. It's interesting, isn't it? Some of these, like Relentless Assault, has cropped up quite a bit in core sets at rare. The cheapest thing you can track down, because of course these ones would be the foils. So Three Kingdoms, just for its very nature, is still high. But yeah, 8th edition, 6th is cheaper. Do any of them have the same artwork? Probably not. And things like Ambition's Cost. So a few of these you can see did crop up in core sets actually afterwards. It's been in a few sets. So, yeah, so interesting set. And some very pricey cards. So one more final thing actually, which I nearly forgot to do before I went, is this. So yeah, there were 3 theme decks. So if you're curious, you've got the set itself, it's a bit about the storyline, and the 2-player starter set, and I'll include links to this. Notice it doesn't seem to be, as far as I can see, one of those booklets that they printed for the other portal. So we've got Plains, Island and Swamp. There you have it. I don't know how much these fetch. Yeah, so 3 theme decks because there's 3 kingdoms. Many creatures with horsemanship. So 7 creatures with horsemanship. More than any of the other Portal 3 Kingdoms precons, because they can't be blocked by. To be the way to finish off your opponent. Yep, so a bit of control in here. And then stuff that blows up your opponent's creature. So we've got blow stuff up with card denial. So the way of the path of disruption. The black one, control the playing field. It's a subtly yet sometimes fierce deck. Okay. And this one, a well-balanced deck. Good mix of creatures and sorceries. And the creatures are of varying costs. So there we have it. Hopefully you enjoyed that as much as I did making this episode. Yeah, lots of really interesting cards. I will include links to all the slicing and dicing here so you can go through yourself. Thanks once again for watching. Bye for now. And I will catch you in a future episode.